Hello everyone, welcome to Stacky. And Stacky is made up of two products aimed to drive the use of Sbtc on Stack blockchain. One of them is a prediction market and one of them is a yield aggregator. So here in the prediction market, it's kind of a poly market type of central liquidity or club type of market, whatever they call it, where users trying to bet on different time frame whether Bitcoin will go up or go down. As you can see here, they can actually bet on 5 minutes time frame, 15, 30 to 1 hour. Actually, the keeper, we have an off-chain keeper that actually regulates the price to beat in each time frame and actually update it every time frame, but it's not on right now because it tends to conflict with the one that we'll be using for testing. Because for us to actually show how this will work in a real scenario and everything is actually on mainnet, we are going to run a script that will actually work on chain, because I as one person can actually test this, because how the market actually works. As you can see, the price of up and down is 50 cents. So for it to actually work, two or more people have to trade for it to actually work. So, and the best way we can actually show the demo is to run a script that creates real wallet, get funded, interact with our contract and our engine to create this market. So, but basically you should have already have an idea of how this thing actually works. This is one of those scripts that I used in the testing before this video. So, but that's basically the front end and it's meant to actually work well if people actually adapt it. So, but this is just a prototype right now, and eventually we will be begin to add more market to predict, and all these things they have to bet with their Sbtc, also driving the use of Sbtc. So probably if we win, this could actually go global. So then okay, now enough of the talks and let's go to the trades. So as you can see, we have limit market, buy and sells and all these things. So but all this will be tested in the script. So now let's go to the script. Okay, let's test the script. Okay, as you can see, it says the demo runs on a complete binary option prediction market on Stack mainnet with real Sbtc as collateral. We have 3 participants on this trade, whether it's Bitcoin goes up or down, and all this happen within a block. So here is our exchange contract. This actually manage when they trade up or down transactions, and this is the Sbtc token that is minted anytime the users buy up or down. Actually the test is going, but I'm trying to explain what is going on, and we will actually track this on mainnet. So this is Sbtc token, and this is the token that is minted by whenever anyone buys up and down. So given the token that you are holding, whether it's the up token or the down token, anyone that wins is actually minted and you get redeem your profit, and that's all. So, and we have 3 participants here. Alice, this is their mainnet address, Bob, Charlie. So Alice will buy up, Bob will buy down, and Charlie will buy from any of them during May section before the 5 minutes time frame finish, because we are testing on 5 minutes time frame. So the matching engine is connected, and the deployer has 0.0001 Sbtc on my token, and I will use it to fund these 3 people. So now we first create a prediction market, which is already created. We can go up, and this prediction market we just created is that, like, in a 5 minutes time frame, we want if okay, here actually market 5 created the strike price. The last price was 69,229 in the last time frame. So if it's greater than 69, then it goes up. If it's lesser than that, it goes down. So that's basically how it works. So phase 2, you can see all this wallet has been funded. You can see their transaction ID right now. Then in phase 3, we'll actually check this after this test. Now in phase 3, they deposited this token that have been funded into an escrow, and what we are using an escrow is for it to be easier for them to actually trade, because the contract is based on anytime they want to trade any token, they have to confirm the approval of that token first before it's being traded. But in eCrew, all the funds will be there. They will now select the amount that they want to use and trade. So all this has been deposited on the eCrew, but their activities on those eCrew will be off chain. So the only thing we'll be seeing here is when they deposit on the eCrew. So now when the funds is now in the eCrew, Alice bought certain amounts of okay, bet up, Bob bet down. So and they minted an exchange token for them to actually hold in representation of their position in that market. So after the mint has been executed, now Alice holds 2000 years token up. It was a mistake in the contract. Bob holds down token. So mint section, Charlie bought from Alice some of the years token at a higher price because Alice, as you can see, bought at 0.50. Sorry, and he bought at 0.60 from Alice. So no new token is minted. Actually, Alice's position is kind of transferred to Charlie. You get? So this is the current position of what they have. So right now we are waiting for the market to resolve. When it resolves, it gives us whether it went up or down. And okay, so the market just resolved and the result was down. And the winner was Bob because he bought Snow. Loser Charlie bought loss because he bought yes from Alice, and Alice sold mint section to lock in some profit. Also mint from loss for the small amount that he still holds, but still made profit from the one he sold. So in phase 7 they actually redeemed all from their eCrew balance because it has actually been resolved. Both made his profit. Alice got back his remaining balance plus a little profit he's made. Charlie brought back his own remaining balance. So this part doesn't work in normal scenario, but I just added it to the script so that all this fund from the True wallet is actually sent back to me. So now the demo was complete. So this is a summary of everything that actually happened. So now let's actually confirm that this is true and all this actually took place on the mainnet, starting with where the market was when the market was actually created. So let me click the link on Chrome. So the contract is actually called Sbtc price. So this is our contract here. This is the deployer, which is my wallet, actually the deployer wallet. So it's interacting with this program to actually set the market at whether the price will go up above that price or whether it will go down above that price. So if we go to the event right now, you see it doing exactly that. So this is the price that it's set to be broken, or it should be below. Okay, that's being said. Now we go to the next one, which is when they were actually funded. I don't know if that's necessary, but yeah. So the deployer wallet is actually funding these three balances, but we'll be checking one so that we can save time from this video. So actually here, this is the deployer wallet ending 120. Give it time. Yeah, same is sending Sbtc 0.0035 BTC to this wallet, which is Alice wallet ending D7R. So let's go back here. Sorry. Alice wallet D7R. So that's basically it for the transfer. Then now here is when they are depositing into the eCrew. So let's check that too. Okay, and this is basically the eCrew. You can see Alice depositing into it. We call it the deposit Sbtc into the eCrew, where they can actually seamlessly buy and sell until they exhaust their balance in the same eCrew pool. So that's basically it. And after the eCrew, we don't have any transaction ID when they bought the yes and no, because this happens on off chain actually. So using a keeper, and off-chain keeper. So but after that is done, here is when the market was actually resolved, determining the outcome. Okay, you can see the deploy wallet interacting. We call that resolve up and down. And when we go to the event right now, you can see it's validating that it was false, that it didn't break the price. This was the price it actually wanted to break, but it went below that. So the market was actually no. Then after the redemption, this them actually withdrawing the funds from the eCro wallet, and okay, this for Alice. Okay, here is them calling the contract to actually withdraw from the eCro, and you can see Alice withdrawing that same amount of fund that he made. His remaining fund, actually we sent 0.0035 to him. He sold some in profit, basically $10 profit, and lost some in the years that they bought because he didn't sell the full amount to Charlie. So that's basically it. And I think that brings us to the total demo of the prediction market, and this is how it will work also on the front end when there is much participants. So now we are going to the yield aggregator. For the yield farming, so currently on Stack blockchain, Sbtc is really catered for in terms of yield. When you tend to supply yield, you tend to use good tokens like USDCX or AEUSD or STX. So basically what currently is for Sbtc is basically lending, but there are more lenders than there are borrowers. So the return on those investments are always low. So using Sbtc now, we tend to create different strategies to help them actually earn more yield with their Sbtc, starting with this Sbtc carry. So basically what we do here is that because there are multiple lenders in the market, but they are less borrowers, so the lenders earn lesser APY because nobody is actually borrowing. So what we now do is that we come here, we lend our Sbtc to ZV2, then borrow USDC against them, and now lend AEUSD on ZV1. This gives us a 2.3 APY, which is much compared to whatever they have currently. So now let's actually test this. I will be depositing all my Sbtc, which is about $100. So the borrow loan to value is capped at 40, but you can increase it to earn more USDC to borrow. But this is the healthy ratio that we recommend. So now I'll go ahead to actually deposit. And now I will confirm the transaction. And we'll go on chain to check the state of it. As you can see, the transaction actually confirmed. This is my wallet address. You can actually see that. Okay, you can see that ending XKE. So this is it here. And we're actually calling this contract for the carry V2 to actually deposit. You can see all the events taking here, about 37 events, going all through those loops to actually execute this contract. So that's basically it. So and now we'll withdraw. But there is a there's something about the withdrawal actually is that so about the withdrawal, according to the strategy, we lended our SBTC on and borrowed USDC. So, but what we actually learned finally was AEUSDC. So this USDC has to be swapped to this. So, but when we swap it, some slippage error kind of makes our the amount we borrowed not to be equivalent to this ADC by just some small fraction. You get, because of that, when we are if you are going to withdraw immediately after depositing, you have to have at least $1 worth of USDCX on your stack balance in order to be able to withdraw, because you kind of pay off the remaining to actually fit in that normal slippage. But if you leave it for a very long time, it acquires yield all over a long time to actually cover that slippage. So I'm just paying it because I'm just withdrawing immediately after depositing. So, but normally it acquires yield over time. So now let's place the withdrawal. Okay, now we approve the transaction. And we now go on chain to actually confirm. And the withdrawal contract went also well, succeeded. You can see us repaying back all those funds. And you can see the discrepancies here, 38.90, 38.97. But we'll cover that from our USDC balance because we're withdrawing immediately. So now let's go to the next vote. And the next vote is Grandian carry. What we do here is, pardon, this 7.4% use is what you earn if you just lend AEUSDC on Gradient, but we lend our Sbtc, borrow USDC against it, then swap it to AEUSDC and deposit here. So at 40% loan to value percentage, we tend to get about 2.4%, but when you increase this, you'll get more than that, but it might be very unhealthy. So let's stick back to our 40% and deposit to the Gradient carry. Now let's confirm the transaction and go on chain to confirm. As you can see, it went through exceptionally well. You can see all the strategy happening here. We lended our Sbtc, and equivalent is minted. Borrowed our this is our fee. Us borrowing $39 worth of USDCX and swapping it to AZ. So that's basically it. And now we'll go back and withdraw. And it's also have that same issue, so we have to repay with some of the funds on our balance. Okay, for withdrawal, we max it. Okay, we confirm our transaction and then go on chain to confirm. Okay, that went through exceptionally well. As you can see, doing the reverse of all that, repaying back the loan, swapping back to USDC, and that's basically it. And now to the last vote, which is STX yield. So how this one basically work is taking, we deposit our lend our Sbtc, borrow USDC, swap it to STX, then stake it on STX staking pool. So now let's deposit max 40% LTV. Then okay, we confirm our transaction. Go on chain to actually verify. Also went through basically all that to lend, borrow, swap to ATC, then to STF completion. That's it. Then now we go and withdraw. So I will mark. Then place withdraw. We'll go on chain to confirm. And you can see all the withdrawal actually completed perfectly. And that brings us to the end of this Stacky demo. Thanks for watching. Broken is a prototype, and if we win, we can actually build this more further into the Stack blockchain. Maybe expand the prediction market to not be only limited to the time frame betting of the BTC market, but also outcomes like news, weather, and etc. Thank you very much for watching.